Welcome to Outstanding
Yeah,
Individuals.
I wanted you to do this.
I'm Kellan.
I'm Cody Lewis. I am a comedian. What's up?
We're here. It's 9:30 on a Thursday.
Yeah, we're doing it early. We're busy guys.
I got my tea.
And he's gonna live review some Mudwater, which Mudwater, if you haven't seen the advertisement, it is a coffee alternative. I did it for a year and a half. Tastes like shit. Kellan's first sip. Let's hear the slurp.
You know, it's actually, it's more chocolate milk or hot chocolate than coffee.
What? Can I try?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do
Mudwater. Have you ever gotten an ad for like a coffee alternative, Mudwater? I think it's just like mushrooms, like salt, like ginger.
There's a chaga in there. There's a bunch of mushrooms. Lion's mane.
So,
Actually, that's not bad. It kind of tastes watery, but...
Yeah, it's a little watery.
So, sponsor us, Mudwater.
We need a sponsor.
Even though I said it tastes like shit.
No, I actually like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I am going to still miss the caffeine. I don't,
There's like a little bump in there.
Is there?
Yeah, I think. Right?
I don't know if there is.
I thought it was like a subtle thing. Who knows? Science.
I've been having acid reflux. That's why I'm going no caffeine. And it's horrible. It's really bad. I love caffeine so much. Especially writing.
That's my favorite thing in the world. Cup of Joe.
And at work without caffeine is like...
It's like sex without a boner.
That's what I'm saying. It's impossible.
I mean, you can use your mouth or whatever.
It's not good. Yeah, I guess that's true. You know, I've always wondered. I've had like lesbian friends, and they would be
have you though?
I have a few.
I don't know.
I don't have many friends, so people are like, "Do you have a lesbian friend?" I'm like, "Yeah, one." But when you look at the amount of friends, the people I hang out with daily or weekly, it's like not much. You know.
But you're saying so she accounted for.
She counts for a large portion of people. Regardless.
Was she like a
She butch?
Could she beat you up?
No.
Right.
No. Look at these. Look at these cats.
But was she butch though?
No, she's not butch. She's
allowed to say that. You can say.
Well,
that.
we did 3 times. But I feel like a few times I was asking her about scissoring. No, I was asking her about her with like other women, and she was like, "Oh yeah, like me and her," or like we'd just be hanging out. She's like, "Oh, me and that girl had sex," and I'm like, "What constitutes?" Like when a man and a woman have sex, it's the penis in the vag. That's okay. We just had sex,
right?
Even if it's for 10 seconds. But for the woman on woman, what makes it?
I would think clit on clit.
I've asked her before. She's like, scissoring's pretty rare.
Right. I thought
so is it just a finger?
I think just probably the nakedness and
just laying
genital
naked.
touching.
But if you said, "Oh, I had sex with her," and I was like, "Oh," like, and then you started talking about what you did, and you're like, "I just fingered her," I'd be like, "You didn't have sex."
Right. That's a good point.
You didn't have sex. No, you fingered her.
We should start talking about this to more people.
We're gonna have a segment about lesbians.
The thing is, I've had so many gay friends over the years, but I never have like lesbian friends.
Gay sex, okay, gay sex.
There's
a line there. Okay, penis and butt.
No, but
that's sex.
I think even if you just, I think it's considered sex if you just go get sucked off.
No, it's a blowjob.
But what if you suck each other off?
That's a double blowjob.
69. Is that 69 with a girl?
You get 69 with a
girl. It's an 11.
An
H.
You just can't. No. It's probably just not as enjoyable for the guy on the bottom, right?
69. I'm a sideways 69er.
All right, you just have to sideways it.
This
was a good way to start the pod, I think.
At 9:30 in the morning, just talking about fucking gay sex. That's a good point, though. I think you're on. Because
I said that to her. I'm like, well, how do you even what is even makes it sex? And I think she had said fingering, and I was like, I don't.
Was she offended?
No, because I wasn't like coming from a place of like malice. I was just like, I'm confused.
Right.
I'm a confused, heterosexual man.
Because if what they're doing is sex, I've had sex with so many more women than I've actually had sex with.
I agree.
Just rubbing.
And I bet if you hooked up with a woman and she just jerked you off, and then you said, "Oh, I had sex with her," I think she would be like, "No, you didn't."
No. Yeah, she would.
She'd be like, "No."
She'd be pissed off.
Yeah. So
I like hand jobs, by the way.
All right. We'll put that on file. Any women listeners, just know. Any women in the future? 'Cause we only have one. I think we have two confirmed. Two confirmed women listeners. Your friend Hannah, and then Brooke. Shout out Brooke.
Oh, no, yeah. I told you my ex-girlfriend said she listened.
All right. So, but she listened to what episode? Is she like Oh, no, Christina. Oh, Christina, third woman. Sorry about that. I forgot.
Christina, thanks.
3. Becca's my friend as well, but Becca's best friend.
And who knows if they even hear this. Talk into the void.
I bet she still listens.
But
I bet when I said only 2 women listeners, and I said Hannah and Brooke, I bet Christina was like, ugh.
Christina, are you there? Can you hear us? Do you like hand jobs?
I don't mind a hand job.
I just feel like they're very underrated, and
Yeah.
that's my opinion.
All right.
Let's.
I like that. You know, this actually kind of might propel me into the
Here we go. Bomb jokes at bomb.
I have the newest segment is something I want to talk about. Rants. But this is we kind of started sexual, so let's just pivot into this because something I want to talk about is sexual.
Love it.
Porn. When you're watching porn, and you click on it, my girlfriend's in the next room, so this is great. When you're watching porn, and it's a man and a woman, and then it's hot, it's heavy, and then randomly she just starts eating the man's ass. They should put that in the title.
Right.
Because now I'm like, oh my God, whoa! You know what I mean? You watch it and you're like, oh, this is this is hot, and then she does that, and you're like, oh Jesus, I gotta fucking go to church now. Now I have to go to church.
The thing is, I've never seen that. Is that a common thing?
It doesn't. I feel like it's only happened like once or twice, but like you just watching it, and there's no indication that she's gonna do it.
Yeah.
And then she just fucking does it. And you're like, whoa.
You want her to stop and look at the camera and be like, hey, you might want to skip the next 3 minutes.
Yeah, like this is yes, they should say that. She's given the beach. She should look at the camera and go, if you aren't into ass play, skip this.
If you have a weak stomach, you might want to.
Yeah.
That's okay.
You've never experienced that?
No, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it has popped up.
You probably were just into it. That's why.
It's
not a memorable moment because you were like, oh, hell yeah.
I just skipped to the cum shot, so.
Cum shot comp.
Oh, you a fan?
A compilation?
Of a cum shot comp?
Let's move off this topic.
The listeners want to know.
The listeners want to know if I'm into a cum. I'm like sweating because I'm double fisting coffees, or I'm double fisting mud water and a tea. Oh my gosh.
And the conversation's pretty hot.
Look how great this mug is. A bunch of dogs?
A bunch of dogs on a mug. Is there anything better?
Did you ever have a dog in the city?
No. When I first moved to New York, I lived with like 5 other random people. And this guy randomly got a puppy, like a Siberian Husky, which are notoriously hyper dogs.
Yeah.
And he would just leave and then leave it. And there was like 2 living rooms.
A common room.
Yeah, and their downstairs one, he would just leave it in there and then it'd bark all day. And so we were like, dude, you can't do that. So then he started putting in like there was like a teeny little like closet-sized courtyard.
Yeah.
For the apartment. He started putting in there and the dog would bark. So all the neighbors started getting mad. And so we had to like literally sit down with him and be like, dude, you got to figure this out. Because it's sad for the dog too.
What did he say? What was his defense?
I don't remember. He finally got rid of it though. But he would,
oh my God.
Here's the thing you would do though. He would be at work all day, dog by itself. He would come home and then go in his room and leave the dog in the common room. So it wasn't even like playing with the dog.
He didn't even want the dog.
Yeah. So then we're like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? It was crazy.
Did he end up saying like, yeah, this was a mistake?
I don't even remember. He got rid of it, but like, dude, he was like this. We're all like in our early 20s. He's like a 45-year-old guy from Ecuador.
That's so weird when it's like a 45-year-old guy and he's lived so much longer than you guys and he just like has not grasped.
Yeah, he had a ponytail.
Oh, that's when you should have known. That's when you should have moved out.
But in New York though, I don't know if you've ever done this, where they instead of filling the apartment, they just fill rooms. So then you just get, it's like basically a roll of the dice who you're gonna live with.
I lived random my first, I think 2 years here. But like one of the years was like COVID. I moved in and then COVID hit and then I went back home. And then when I came back, I re-signed. So I would say like a year and a few months. And, but I got pretty lucky. Everyone was very nice.
Yeah, same.
I never had any like horror, like bad roommate stories. I'm trying to think. So I move in and I'm there for 2 months. and it's a duplex. So I'm living on a floor with a woman, and then on the second floor is 2 people. My floor has the kitchen. So I move in, COVID hits, 2 months into the move in. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll go home. I live my mom's upstate New York. So I go upstate New York for probably 6 months, and then I come back. And
your apartment was, you're still paying for your
I
apartment?
was still paying.
Okay,
It was the worst timing ever. And the apartment is so dirty. I come back and it's so filthy dirty. The downstairs, my section. To the point where you're walking on a floor and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
It's like that. I go to take a shower. And I'm like, I go to brush my teeth and I turn on the sink and water is leaking out the bottom. I look under and it's the pipe is completely off.
Oh.
And I go to the woman. I'm like, hey, did you know the sink's leaking? She's like, oh yeah, but then it dries. And I'm like, what? So then I call the building manager and I'm like, hey, this and that and this. And she's like, oh, why did no one tell me? And I'm like, I don't know either.
Oh, shit.
And then there were roaches because she was living in filth.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, it was really
that
bad.
Makes me so, I'd be so mad if you came back.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Especially when I first came back from COVID after living in California for 6 months, everything felt so small. I like the first few days I almost felt claustrophobic.
You went back to Cali?
Yeah, and I paid for my apartment then. So then I finally came back to New York, and everything, just because I'm used to I was used to wider spaces.
Yeah.
And everything I felt claustrophobic, but to come back and then also if there's shit like that.
Were you locked into your lease?
No, I was month to month, but it was one of those things.
It was one of the things you're when is this going to end?
Yeah, and I was like, well, I'll just give it another month. And I was getting so much money from unemployment that I was like, well, and I was living at home for free. It's kind of dope. It's sick.
I saved a lot of money with COVID.
I bought a brand new surfboard, new fucking wetsuit. It's the most money I've ever made.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I wasn't even getting the full unemployment benefits because you have to work a certain amount of months to get the full unemployment benefits. And I had just started a new job. I was a month in. So they were like, oh, you're only going to get a little bit. But they were so helpful. And they were like, oh, we started a GoFundMe. So they sent me some money from the GoFundMe. It was very nice.
Oh, but, that's nice.
Yeah, but some of my coworkers who had been there a year, 2 years, they're like, dude, I'm making an insane amount of money.
Yeah.
Even when the deli reopened, they were like, even the owner was like, hey, let's try to figure this out. I know you guys are making so much more money on unemployment. He's like, but we'll try to figure this out. And I was like, I'll just come back full time because I'm not really making that much.
Right. Well, that's it. Yeah, I worked at a restaurant. A lot of people weren't.
They were they didn't want to come back.
Yeah, because they're like, why would I?
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Do you know what I was thinking about the other day is when my first apartment in New York, someone delivered a package. I heard the buzzer, and I go outside and I see people walking away with the package, but they were so far down the street that I was like, and it wasn't mine. It was someone else. I was like, I think those people just stole the package, but I couldn't. I had no way to prove it. So I'm like, well,
did they just look like a normal person?
Yeah, it was an older couple in their 40s, but they had
that makes me think.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't steal it.
That's what I thought. I'm like, I'm not gonna confront these people. And then a few days later, a girl knocks on our door and she's like, hey, did you see a package? And I was like, no, I just lied to her.
Oh, I would have said, honestly, yeah, but it was just this really bizarre scenario.
Yeah. Well, but then get this, a few weeks later, I'm on the roof hanging out, and I see her up there. And then for some reason, I was trying to fill the awkward conversation, so I was I told her.
You brought it up.
And I was like, I'm sorry I didn't tell you, but I think those people stole it. And then we fucking made love.
Is that true?
No. I did make love to my neighbor once, though.
How'd that happen? Let me just say something quickly about stealing packages. It's so fucked up. It really is. Also, though, I kind of understand it. Because whenever I see a package, I'm like, it would be so cool. It's just a fucking free package. Yeah. This would be dope as hell.
And it's you could literally just grab it, and it's so easy.
It's the easiest crime, and then they probably just get it again. I would never do it, but there is a moment every time I see a package, I'm like, oh, I want to take it.
Yeah, especially if I can tell it's clothing. I'm like, what if it's a cool shirt?
Yeah.
Which the chances of it
fitting
zero. But yeah.
And then, you could even open it. One time, my neighbor, my downstairs neighbor, took her package, and then I went. I was like, "Hey, did you guys find a package?" And they were like, "No." And then I go back up. So I'm like, "Oh, that was all right, whatever." I go back upstairs, and then 30 seconds later, I just hear a knock at the door. I open the door, and there's my package. And I'm like, I go back down. I'm like, oh, so you did have it. And he was like, oh, yeah, sorry. I'm like, you didn't want to, like, talk about, like, that was so weird.
Yeah.
I think they hated us anyway. They didn't hate me, but they hated my roommates, so maybe they just associated me with them.
That is weird.
But I was like, dude, what the hell? That was, like, the weirdest thing of all time.
Have you seen the videos where they capture porch pirates? Pretty good.
I always see the ones where they, like, fake. It's like a fake package.
Oh, with glitter.
Yeah,
bomb.
and someone steals it, and then it sprays, like, skunk juice.
Yeah.
With, like, a camera.
That's good.
That's my biggest fear. Then you're on a viral video, and everyone's, like,
yeah, but you would
contacting
never steal.
I know I would never, but, you know, in a past life, maybe I would.
Yeah, true. If you were... Never mind.
Horrible person.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
So you slept with your neighbor?
Yes.
How'd that happen?
Well,
Was it in New York?
Yeah. I just, like, met her a few times, and then, we'd always be like, oh, let's hang out, we'd never do it, but then I was, like, being brave, and I saw her coming into the building.
He was being brave, A.K. He was
Horny.
drunk.
I was actually sober.
He was drunk and horny.
You know how I do. And I waited for in the hall, like, with my keys, like, in the lock, because I knew she was coming in, and then I saw her. I was like, hey, we should get a drink.
Yeah.
So it was very awkward, but I, like, fucking powered through, and then I like, saw her for a few months. But then I ended up moving apartments, which made us, when things ended, it made it way better.
Yeah.
Because that's the biggest
Did you end
thing.
things before you moved?
No, I moved, saw her for a little bit, and she ended things. And, which is good, because if I had to fucking see guys walking by and the people, and she's just about to get pounded.
Oh, brutal.
It'd be horrible.
What, did she end it, and it was like, all right, this is fine?
Oh, for me?
Yeah, were you like, or you're like, this sucks?
Oh, yeah, it sucked.
You're sad.
Yeah, so sad. But I was also, like, in a low place.
Why do you think she ended it?
I think there was a lot, there was a confidence issue. Do you know what's so funny about this girl is she would always be like, oh, she would like tell me like, oh, the sex is good.
Yeah.
But then like basically like, but I don't really like you. And I was like,
that's honestly the nicest thing a woman can say.
No, it was. You would
I think that's better.
You would
can
think
change.
It's cool.
I feel like you can kind of change. I get maybe not.
No, because you would in your head you're like maybe that's cool, but then she's basically like, yeah, I don't really want to.
Well, I don't think people match. Like some personalities don't match, but
yeah,
you should be able to. At least you're not premature ejaculating.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's always the struggle. Some girls like that though.
Is that true?
No.
All right.
Maybe. Cut it.
Let's do our first segment.
Okay.
I already did do you have something I want to talk about? It's kind of an unofficial segment.
No.
All right.
Think of anything.
I was gonna say, don't try to make one up now. It's gonna be bad. All right.
Can I say one thing? Let me add it. When you come and you accidentally say the wrong person's name,
okay,
and it's your brother's name,
okay,
what's the problem?
okay. That was just something you want to talk about?
Yeah.
I tried a joke where I was like, oh, if you say someone's name, if you say the wrong name, this isn't my joke that didn't work, but if you say the wrong name during sex, just pretend, then just make it a historical figure. Or if you're like, oh, Thomas, and he's like, what? I'm Gary. And you're like, Thomas Jefferson, and then the guy's like, oh, this girl's a fucking freak.
That's funny, but I like that. Those are the worst names, Thomas and what was the other one? He said?
My name's Gary. Yeah, Gary. Guys named Gary don't get laid. That's
right,
the biggest.
Dad, of course not.
All right, my
really
actual
funny.
joke that didn't work is another porn joke. Well, I guess the other one wasn't a joke, but I was watching porn one day, and it was a threesome. It was threesome porn, and it was a woman.
Nice.
It was a black man, and then it was a white man, and I was like, I cannot believe this white guy is trying to go toe to toe with a black penis. This is unbelievable. This is like porn entrapment.
Yeah.
They definitely didn't tell him. They were like, oh yeah, it's a threesome scene, And then he shows up. He's like, oh, you guys didn't tell me the fucking guy I'm competing against is black? This is impossible.
That's funny.
Can we blur out my face so I'm not humiliated? You ever see the porn where it's a blurred out just the guys' faces?
No.
Oh, I've seen that. This is,
You've watched a lot of porn.
No. I watched one episode, and all the things have happened in this one episode.
I've never seen that.
I've seen that, and it's like, what does the woman think? Like they're in the edit, like they sent her the video beforehand, and she's like, yeah, just one question, why is only his face blurred?
Yeah.
And the guy's like, well, I don't want people to know I do porn. And she's like, oh, okay, I guess it's fine for me. I don't know. He's like, well, I don't want to ruin my life.
Yeah. The thing with some of the porn though, they just cut off the heads. They like don't show them.
Yeah, no heads.
That's a weird thing. No.
I get that a little more.
I mean, I get it.
But then I'll see that, and then I'll see the person has like a very big tattoo, and I'm like, okay, this is
right.
What are we doing here?
But also, there's just so many options in porn. Like, if you're watching no head porn, why? You know what I mean? You could just click a video where there's faces.
Yeah. Did you ever see that Louis bit where he's like, I think they can stop making porn and no one would notice?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, no one would be like, there's so much.
It's insane.
You couldn't watch it all.
What would you do if you pretend you were single?
Yes. It's hard to even pretend because I'm so in love.
Okay, and then you love this woman, and then you found out she had a stint as a porn star.
How big of a stint?
Stint, maybe 6 months, maybe 5 videos, 7 videos.
And what are the videos like? What are the videos like?
Black guys. 4 per video.
No, but I'm more thinking like I wasn't asking what is the race of people she's sleeping with. Is it gangbangs? Is it?
Does that matter?
I think a gangbang's an elevated level.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, like if you see her and she's doing porn, it's like consensual and everything. But then if like you see her and it's like 11 dudes and like her, it's like this might I don't know if this is necessarily something.
Because
I'm about.
Right.
It feels like the guy who goes, this is okay. You know what? I can work past this. Gets cheated on.
Yeah, true. Cuck.
Yeah.
He's a cuck.
And vice versa. Man with 12 women. I don't even think that's a genre.
That's thing. It's called Bachelor Party. Yeah.
But that, that guy's going to cheat on you, ladies.
Yeah. I think I could never. I think.
Even if it's a one time?
I would be hard. I'm not saying anything wrong with it. I just am an insecure person.
Yeah.
Or what if those videos where it's like, Sally and Jack, and it's just their channel?
That Titanic?
No, that's what's the Halloween movie?
You got to give me more than that. What's the Halloween movie?
Yeah, with Sally and Jack.
Is it
Nightmare Before Christmas?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay, but not that. Those are the names though. But I'm saying, where they have a channel, it's just a couple.
It would have to be an amateur.
Yeah, right.
Amateur, you'd be more willing to forgive. I also think it's weird though, like if you start dating a woman and she's got amateur porn up, but then it's like, hey, why didn't you take this down when you guys broke up?
Right.
Why is it still up?
But the thing is, they might not have a say in that.
Okay, so in that scenario, she goes, oh, we actually don't have a say. You could probably move on from that, or no?
Me, I don't think I could.
Even in the amateur? What if it looks like consensual?
Well, because then I'd watch it and just see what's this guy's like?
He's bringing it.
What if he has the biggest?
He's got it's a 30-minute long video and he's bringing his A game.
Yeah. Then you're like, oh my god. And
Yeah.
she's like, oh, I like you for you. And you're like, but what about your old friend?
What about
Jack?
these 5 videos?
Yeah. Also, Brennan Tassif. Shout out, I've been on his podcast.
Shout out.
He has a joke right now. Well, it's because it happened. He dated this girl for a while and then Googled her name after they broke up.
Yeah.
And found out she did porn.
Oh my gosh.
So then now he's like, but it's after the fact. But it's still crazy. You're like, oh my god.
I knew a guy. I'm not going to say his name. He was dating a woman, and I think he kind of found, not dating, but I think they went on a few dates. They weren't official, and then he, for whatever reason, he Googled her name. She was a porn star, and I think he brought it up to her, and she was like, "Yes, I am." Also though, just if you pick a video, we can do that. We can do that video, we can replay that. And I think he did that for another month or two, and then ended up breaking up with her.
That was that was her defense?
Not in defense. I think she was like, yeah, I am. And he was like, oh, okay, cool. I don't think he was exclusive with this woman. And she was like, hey, also, if you want to do something fun,
okay.
Pick this if you see a video and you want to try it out, hey, this move's fucking wild. She'd be like, yeah, I'll try that move. And he was like, oh, all right.
That's insane. I don't believe that story.
Yeah, maybe he was lying to me.
That's an insane story. Because you just pick any video.
That's you know what? I believe him, though. It's kind of a ridiculous lie. It's this elaborate...
It's
too
just
much.
a weird defense to be like, well, you can try it. And he's like, okay.
So you would
distract him.
So how would you confront the woman if you saw gangbang porn. She's in a porn. It's gangbang.
Oh, do I randomly come across it or?
You randomly come across it.
Okay, so what would I say? How long have I been dating this girl?
A year.
Oh, and she's my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I see her in a gangbang.
And it's brutal.
Like at the end, they're like, wait, they're finishing on her.
Yeah, it's like it's one of the worst.
Yeah. What would I say?
You'd have to go, hey, look, I saw this, and I don't think I can work past this.
Yeah, I would just send it to her and be like, you don't. But you fucking.
Just be gone.
People don't forget.
Be gone by the end of the week.
Yeah. No, I would, if I loved her, I would try. But then every time I kissed her, I'd be like, oh.
I don't know if the gangbang, you can move past that.
I don't know. I really don't know.
That's
Which
tough.
is, we're not dissing on
No, it's
sex
just, I
workers.
I just don't think I would be into that.
This is just how we feel, okay?
Yeah.
Imagine if you're a girl and your boyfriend romantically took a girl apple picking.
Okay.
You would
And
be
then
pissed.
filmed a sex tape.
About apple, no sex.
And it was online.
Just apples. Okay, I don't know why I brought that up.
Let's do our second. Let's move off this topic.
Yeah, this is so porn heavy, it's crazy.
Did you do your joke that didn't work?
No, I got one though.
All right.
If I did this last week, remind me.
I started making a Google Doc because I'm like, I'm going to just be doing the same joke.
Yeah, same stories.
Yeah.
Because I only have like 4 stories. My joke is, fuck, I feel like I said this. My last girl I seen was a grammar Nazi. She'd correct my grammar.
You said this last week.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, you said this
Okay.
last week.
Well, it bombed. It's still bombed all week. So I'm like, yeah, I guess it's just not a good joke.
That sucks. And you like this joke, though.
I just think it's silly.
Mm-hmm. Trying to think
I
of
can't
did
believe I
anything
said that
happen on
last
the shows this past
Last Monday?
the 7 o'clock was good. The 11 was they didn't really like me.
Was I hosting?
You hosted the 11.
I can't remember a damn thing. That one was, dude, sometimes you get up there and it's so bad. Also, I got in a thing where I did crowd work with he happened to be black.
Yeah.
Porn and black people. This is what we should call the podcast, actually. But and I was like, oh, what college do you go to? And he said in the deepest, blackest voice I've ever heard, Arizona State or whatever.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make a joke, that's the blackest voice I've ever heard.
Yeah.
But then I stopped myself. So then instead I just went and did this weird thing.
Yeah.
And then it made it so fucking awkward. I was having an okay set, and then that happened.
I don't
was
think that would have been a bad thing to say.
I know, but it's one of those things. I think if it's if the crowd loves you,
Yeah.
then you can do it. And if you gotta just fucking commit.
Yeah.
But I did this middle ground, and it was already, the crowd was okay. I was doing okay, so I don't know. I should have just committed, but anyway, that was kind of a bomb.
All right. So that was the. All right. Let's do life hack.
Wait, do you have the joke?
I already did my joke. The porn threesome.
Oh, I thought you had a second one.
No, I did though. I said it though. I'm my memory's shot.
I can't remember even the beginning of this podcast. Okay, what is it? What are we talking
All right, life hack. I have 2.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
Maybe we should just call this Kellan's Life Hacks, and I should just be the commentator on the side.
Well, let's hear why you think you're. Well, we'll give you a few more
I
chances.
can't please you.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
Some of your life hacks aren't good.
You've said none of them are good.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, all of them. All right, this one is a good one, or it's not. I wouldn't say it's one of my best, but I still think it's good. Text somebody if you're gonna text someone who you haven't talked to in a while. Let's say you haven't talked to your mom in a while, and you're like, oh, I gotta call her. I gotta text her. I haven't talked to her in a while. Instead of saying oh, hey, what's up? I've been so crazy busy. Sorry, I haven't been talking to you. Text them, hey, thinking of you today. I was thinking of you today. How's it going? That's more sweet. That's sweeter, right?
That's it?
That's it.
What are you saying?
If you say to someone, let's say a girl who you were kind of involved in texted you hey, I was thinking of you today. Wouldn't
Yeah.
that fucking be oh, hell yeah.
That's true. As opposed
Rather than
to,
hey, what's up?
Right. So
Also, but you can't really, if you're a man and you're gonna do this to a woman and you're a heterosexual man, don't do this because she'll think you're gay. She'll think you're gay.
Right.
But if you're, it's a nicer way of saying hey, how you doing?
Right.
I think you go, hey, just say to your mom, hey, mom, I was thinking of you today. How's it going?
Yeah.
Boom.
She
You
loves
just made
it.
your mom's day.
Right. As opposed to, hey, what's up?
You know, hey, how are you? Or hey, how's it going?
That's kind of a Cody life hack, in my opinion.
That makes you agree your life hacks are bad. I have a second life hack. This is a short one. Don't use the bathroom on your break. Use the bathroom after your break.
That's
how you extend your break.
This is a big thing in the restaurant world, in the industry where, they do your break, and then at the very end of your break, you go to the bathroom, so then it like extends.
Hold it.
It's bullshit.
Clench the cheeks. Clench the cheeks.
But then I think it's dumb.
Unless it's an emergency.
Yeah, then you gotta go. Also, when a place doesn't have a staff bathroom, insane, because you're like waiting in line with the cook, and then he goes in before you, and then you gotta watch his hands to see if they're wet.
Yeah.
And a lot of time, I'll tell you something I've learned working in the restaurant industry. People aren't washing their hands.
Yeah, but this goes back to the previous episode we talked about. I guess if you're working with food, it's one thing, but the penis is clean.
Yeah, but still, even no one's washing their hands, and the things you touch, other people touch.
Yeah.
And
if you work in a restaurant, you gotta.
Yeah, but so many people don't.
Yeah.
Dude, restaurants every place is so dirty.
Have you ever worked at a place where you're like, this is getting a little out of hand, how dirty it is?
I mean, everything has been, it's just like mostly the workers just don't really give a fuck.
The place I work at now is very, very clean, but when I first got my job in Long Island, I got at a bagel shop, and the owner, I guess just like the first owner, they ended up switching owners to Mr. Kim, or Mr. Young. I'm sorry, Kim Young. Shout out Mr. Young. Him and I used to just fucking hang out all the time. He'd be like, you want to go get steaks? He was like this 50-year-old Korean guy.
The owner?
Yeah. And I was like, hell yeah.
Just you and him?
We'd go and get steaks.
Did he buy it?
Yeah, he'd buy them. Sushi. He's like, you want to get sushi? I'm like, hell yeah. Eating with him was so funny because he would take a bite and he would be like, there was no filter. He'd be like, this is horrible. And then he'd like keep going. He's like, this is too salty, right? And I'm like, yeah. And then he'd tell the waiter immediately, it's way too salty. And then just like keep going.
Oh, and he wouldn't send it back?
No, he wouldn't send it back, but he was just
Just wanted them to know?
It was very funny.
That'd be a funny sitcom, you and a 50-year-old Korean guy.
We had a lot of fun, me and Mr. Young. And then, so when I first got the job, I just think like the guy, like, I don't know what happened. He just like didn't want to do the exterminator every month. Dude, it was like so many of these like little bugs.
Cockroaches?
I think they were like technically cockroaches.
The little ones.
Yeah,
those are.
And they were like everywhere. And we were like, I feel like people were like, yo, what is going on?
Yeah,
and he's like, I brought the exterminator, but he's not good. And it's like, then we have to, do it. We got to step it up.
Yeah.
This is so gross. Like,
That's
the customers
so
are seeing this. So
I worked at the Cheesecake Factory, and
shout out the Cheesecake Factory. It's fucking amazing.
So good. But
Thai lettuce wraps.
So many items, and they do them all well.
They do them all. One time,
and
though,
so many cheesecakes.
Just quick story. I was eating the Thai lettuce wraps. I'm basically at my last bite. I look down. Chicken's raw. The entire meal had been raw.
Oh.
So I like brought over the waiter, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that is raw." And then they didn't charge me for it. But I think I could have gotten the meal for free.
100%.
I didn't press it though.
Yeah.
I was just like, all right.
Do you know something that always bothers me is you reward the people who are assholes in the restaurant, or like Airbnb. We do the same thing where it's like, if someone's like nice, there's a problem. You're like, oh, here's a little discount. If someone's mean, you're like, here's the whole meal.
Yes.
And it should be the opposite. It should be like, you're nice, fucking take this whole thing.
Yeah.
Cheesecake Factory though, dude, that's gnarly. Yeah, fucking salmonella. You should have got the whole thing comped.
I know.
And the cheesecake.
I know. I should have gotten a slice.
Yeah.
I should have at least gotten a slice.
Dude, what was sick when I worked there is
I could have faked sickness.
Yeah, just yakking.
I made a mistake. I made a mistake. All right, so you were at Cheesecake Factory?
Well, there's two things. When the cheesecakes were expiring like the next day, so they would give us full cheesecakes all the time.
Still good, though.
Still good. Delicious, which is awesome. Oh, but I worked there, and I was like, this is a corporate place. Everything was so efficient. I was like, this will be the cleanest place I've ever worked.
Yeah.
And then like fucking Silver would come out with like food on it still, and we'd be so busy that we'd just like wipe it off with like a dry rag and then fucking continue. Also, the fucking dishwasher. This is one of those things I regret. He was such a dick to me that I can't even believe it looking back.
What did he do?
He was like the the dishwashers in there. There was like fucking 7 of them in a room.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
because it's such a big operation. And so he was like the king of them, and they brought is a new Cheesecake Factory, so they like brought him in from a different location to like show these guys. So he was like had this like, oh, you get blah blah blah, and he was just like, oh, you got fucked with in high school, and I was like kind of hesitant. He's like, oh, I bet I would have fucked with you in high school. And I was like, well, I was homeschooled, so he couldn't have.
Yeah.
But I also, looking back, I'm like, I should have been like, you're a fucking dishwasher, you fucking piece of shit. And I should have fucking hit him in the face and then walked out of there because that place fucking sucked.
How long did you work there? How long did this guy fuck with you?
I worked there 3 months, and the thing is, most of the time I just go in and like ignore him.
Yeah.
But then a few times he was like kind of a dick. I'm like, why the fuck am I putting up with this?
Yeah.
Looking back, I'm like, I was just fucking too nice. Or I fucking tattletale on the guy. This guy's being a fucking dick. Bam.
I love a good tattletale.
Dude. I'll narc everyone.
Do you have a good story about narking on someone?
Narking. I can't remember any.
I don't know if I have one.
Yeah, I can't either.
No, I don't have one. Yeah,
I'll have
I
to
say
think
I love
about
tattletaling, but
I'll do it. I don't give a
I'll
fuck.
just remember it forever. Like someone fucked with me, and I'm like, okay. And then, like especially at my old deli, we had like 11 people behind the line, and we would always like, it was very much like everything was out in the open. If someone like fucked up or did something, everyone would be like, oh, look at fucking this person doing that. That's cool. So if someone like did that to me, I'm like, all right. And then like a month later, they would mess up on something. You're like, yep, well,
Fuck
that's
you.
cool. Or if like then they came in late, like 15 minutes late, I'd be like, oh, Kevin, he's got the 8:15 to 3 shift. That's cool. That's a weird shift. Not 8 to 3, 8:15.
That's funny. That's playful though.
Oh, Kevin, what happened? Traffic was crazy on the 1-minute commute. Like stuff like that.
Yeah. That's fun though.
Yeah.
I hate everyone.
Or sometimes the owner would be like, who do you think is the worst? Mr. Young would ask me this. He'd go, who do you think who's the worst on the line?
Over your ribeye, you would be talking about this?
Yeah, we'd be eating tomahawk steaks, and he's like, who's the worst? Who's the worst on the line? And he'd give me 2 options. He's like, I'm thinking of getting rid of one. What do you think?
Oh my god!
And I would say, get rid of both.
That's insane.
I'd say, Mr. Young, get rid of both, and he'd go, I agree with you. He wouldn't do it.
Oh,
I think it was more like a test.
Right.
He wanted to see what I would say.
He wanted to see if you can see who's the worst.
Yeah, he was like, yeah.
Sounds like
I'm like, they're horrible.
He was like grooming you to be his assistant.
He had told me. He was like, if you wanted to, I would buy another bagel shop and you could run it.
What?
Yeah, he's like, I'd buy one for you. And I was like, I just, But I saw what it took to run a bagel shop. He was there like 7 days a week, like 15 hours, and he would have expected that of me.
Yeah, dude, owners, it's insane how much stress.
It's an incredible amount of stress.
Yeah.
He was there like nonstop. There were times where he was there so much that his bloodshot eye, like the eyes would be so bloodshot.
Yeah.
And then he had gotten surgery on his heart, and then like sometimes he would be like, oh my, like the stitches were like breaking, and he's like, yeah, I'm just working too much. And I'm like, you gotta go home. And he's like, oh, maybe I'll go home an hour early today. And I was like,
it's insane.
It was really
a wife?
crazy. He had a wife. She was there. They were Korean, and they're very much like, you gotta work.
Yeah. Did they have an accent?
Yeah, both of them. But they would say, I remember her telling me, I'm like, he's working too much. She's like, yes, but if he doesn't work, he'll get sick. They're like, you got to work or otherwise you'll get sick.
What?
That's what she told me.
Do you know sometimes my brother will, because he has a high stress job.
Yeah.
So when he finally does take a time off, he'll get sick because his body's finally like
slowing down.
Yeah.
That happens with my brother as well. If he does overnights. Or even on time in between he gets sick. But especially overnights, if you switch from overnights to then, like regular hours, he's like, gets sick.
It's crazy.
It's horrible. All right, let's do our next segment.
Okay.
So we did a life hack. We did jokes that didn't work. All right, our mystery segment. You came up with this. Why don't
This was mine.
Why don't
these
you
were... What was it? Oh, top 3 worst things you don't want to hear during sex.
Top 3 worst things you don't want to hear during sex. This is a very sex-heavy, porn-heavy episode, but that's okay. And ours, we do a lot of sex. We do a lot of beating off jokes anyway.
I think we just naturally talk a lot about sex, even though I ain't having sex. It's just always my natural
Let's fix
thing.
that. Let's fix that, viewers.
Let's do it. Okay.
So you go, I go, you go, I go.
Okay. This is
Top
Number
three.
one. Top
and then
three things.
Anyone who hears this, you can text us who you think won
Okay.
and why it's me.
This is top 3 things you don't want to hear while having sex. Number 1, the doctor did a pretty good job, didn't he?
That's a trans. You're alluding to them being trans. Okay.
You don't want to hear it. I'm not saying I just.
You're not
during
against
sex.
it.
I'm not against it.
Yeah, just be upfront about it.
Yeah, tell me.
Don't wait during.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Or what? Although put a little pushback. What if she's talking about a boob job?
Oh.
She goes, the doctor did well, right? And you go, hell yeah.
I guess.
Those are unbelievable.
Send him my regards.
Send him my regard. I got a high five this guy.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
All right.
You want to get past this one so quick.
No, I think that's a good one.
Okay. Cool.
Or I don't think it's a good one, depending how the LGBTQ community responds.
They're listening.
When this clip is cut up for you and you get canceled, they'll cut to me and I'll go, I don't agree with that. That's disgusting. Just get this part.
That's the top 3 things you want to hear, actually.
Yeah. Yes. All right, my turn. A home invasion.
You don't want to hear
a home invasion. I'm having sex with a woman, my girlfriend, and I hear a home invasion.
Right.
Someone's breaking into my home. That would totally not be
that
okay.
would be scary.
That would be horrifying.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's maybe worst case scenario. I go, oh no.
Yeah.
First of all, I gotta fight for my life.
And
I'm nude with a boner.
And you want to finish.
It's like I'm conflicted.
Do you finish?
No. You gotta get up and you gotta go stand behind the door. They kick the door open. They see her. They walk in a little. I'm behind him.
What do you with what? Your fist?
My fist or my boner?
Yeah, put it in.
No,
his
probably
ass.
some.
Like, this is what you get.
Like a rock.
A rock.
I don't know,
You run outside, grab a rock.
Then attack him. But yeah, I think a home invasion would be one of the worst.
I
things
was
to
thinking
hear.
more like a quotable thing the person says, but yeah, home invasion.
Look, I interpreted the segment. You text me, what do you think about this segment? I go, boom, perfect.
Yeah. Okay,
This is how I
just to
interpret
go along with that, this is not one of mine. You don't want to hear a nuclear bomb explosion.
Okay. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
We all know that. That's a recognizable sound. We all know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Hiroshima.
Yeah. Someone surely was banging at that point.
I think there was a story of a guy who, I don't know if it was Hiroshima or Nagasaki that got dropped first. Do you know?
No idea. Are you
So
kidding?
he was in that one, wherever he was. Let's say it's Hiroshima. He was in Hiroshima. Bomb gets dropped. He lives. He goes to Nagasaki, and he goes, oh, my God, I just had another fucking muscle spasm. He goes to Nagasaki, and he's telling people about it. He's like, I was in fucking Hiroshima. It was crazy. He sees, whatever, the bright light. He's like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
And then I think he tackled his friend down the stairs, and he lived again, too.
That's insane. What the hell?
Yeah. Or this is a lie. My history teacher
I've
in 7th grade.
seen. I saw that a few months ago. Maybe it's like a story going around.
Yeah.
Probably like Uber. What's the history one that everyone follows?
Uber history facts? I don't know.
History.
History
whatever.
buff?
It's on Instagram. Anyway,
All
so
right,
that's pretty good.
Your second one.
Second one. You're gonna hate this. This is okay.
I'm
Don't
ready.
put your finger in my butt because I have a butt penis.
Okay. I don't even know what that means.
Because I'm saying
What does that even mean?
there's a penis growing out of their butt.
That's not possible.
Why not?
It's not medically possible.
You don't know?
Do you have 4?
I have 10 actually.
Okay. Do a different one.
Okay.
That one doesn't count.
Okay. If you don't come in me, I'll murder your whole family.
Okay, that's pretty scary.
Yeah.
That's scary.
She's forcing you to get her pregnant or she's going to murder.
What would you do in that scenario?
Well, it depends if she has a knife and it's at your throat.
She doesn't have a knife.
So she just says it.
Yeah.
I will run away. I'll pull
that's
out.
a really scary, yeah.
One time
Whoa.
a girl said I pulled out cuz this is like the second date, whatever, and she's like, "Oh, why didn't you come in me?"
Okay.
And then I was like, "Huh?"
This is a very sex.
Yeah. And she said, "Why don't you come in me?" And I was like, "What?" But as she said, I was like, "Of course. Why would I?" Because now that you said that, it's scary.
Yes.
Then we had sex like 30 minutes later.
Shout out you.
and I came in her.
Shout out.
I was like, I don't want to disappoint her again.
30-minute turnaround. Shout out you.
Yeah, I know. No pills, just my natural libido.
Wow.
Okay? Anyway, that's a good story.
All right, my second one. Yeah, these are. I think it's a clear win for me. Someone screaming fire.
That's a no. I'm
Someone screaming. There's a fire in my building. There's a fire in in the building.
So the girl didn't. You're not saying what the girl said.
You're
saying
when you texted me about this mystery segment. You said top 3 things you would not want to hear during sex.
That's
okay.
Fair. Okay, fire in the building's a good one.
Fire in the building, and someone's warning me.
Right. Are they knocking on your door?
They might just go like, "Fire! There's a fire in the building. Get everyone out." I'd be like, "Oh shit, this is ruining the sex."
Right.
All right.
Okay, that's pretty good.
That's my second.
I think I'm winning.
That's
Let's say
objectively wrong.
Luckily, I'm saving the best for last. Okay, number 3. I'm actually 15.
Okay. This is. I mean, yes. I agree with you. That would be pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's okay. I don't even really have too much pushback. I mean, I guess that would be pretty bad.
And we're not saying I want that to happen. We're saying it's the worst thing that could happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Or actually worse, I'm 14.
Yeah, I guess it would be worse. Yeah, the lower you go.
I'm 13.
Okay, we can infer the rest.
I'm 5, and I have a disease which makes me look older, but I'm actually 5.
What is that movie?
Benjamin Button.
Benjamin Button. I've never seen it. Shout out me, never watched
Benjamin
movies.
Cuttin.
Benjamin Cuck. Cuckin.
Okay.
My last one, the bongo drums.
You don't want to hear the bongo?
I don't want to hear the bongo.
Who's playing them?
That would be the scary part. Someone's in the apartment and they're playing the bongo.
There's like a ghost, like a white guy with dreadlocks.
Yeah.
In your apartment.
That would be scary.
You just hear him in the kitchen.
Or like freaky music. That could be, kind of piggybacking off the bongo, like in a horror movie where they're like sitting down. They're like, what's that? No, like, is someone playing music?
Like Jumanji. You never seen that?
I saw Jumanji.
Yeah.
With Kevin Hart? No, I'm joking. That was the remake.
That's actually good, though.
It can't.
Surprisingly.
It was Jack Black, Kevin Hart, and The Rock.
Yeah, it's funny.
Jack Black was like a woman, though.
I can't remember.
The first one was
a
actually
woman.
scary. I remember, like, as a kid watching Jumanji and being like, I'm scared.
Well, because the song's fucking freaky as hell.
It's freaky. And it's kind of like, it's very dark. I feel like the beginning is dark.
Yeah,
like, once he comes back, once Robin Williams comes back, and, like, all that is not that scary. It's kind of cool, like, the board's kind of coming into the real world. But in the beginning, they, like, try to throw it in the pond, but then they, like, he gets sucked in.
Do you know, I think the music probably, because, like, horror movie music gives you anxiety, like, the frequency it's at. I bet those drums, especially as a kid, it's like the Goosebumps theme. Did you ever see that?
I think so.
Yeah, if you watch it, when you're a kid, it's like the most terrifying thing. And then I literally watched it the other day on Instagram, and it's like a shadow of a G, and it looks so cheesy.
Yeah.
But I'm like, as a kid, it probably just tapped into that anxiety-inducing, whatever that is.
It's horrifying.
And, so I guess bongo drums.
I would hate bongo drums.
That's good.
So I think, can we just agree?
That you won?
I won.
Wait, I got one more.
This is a 4th.
5th.
This is your 5th, actually.
I just shit a little.
I just shit. Okay, that's good.
That's good. My husband is watching from the closet.
Okay, these are a little better. I cannot believe some of the ones you said when these were in the...
This hurts my vajayjay.
Okay. I guess
Daddy,
okay,
I'm a little baby.
Okay.
What if she said that?
Did you ever... What movie did that? What movie was that? It was like...
Heartbreak Kid?
No, it was like it was a movie with Jennifer Aniston, and it was like a work party. Do you know what I'm talking about?
A work party? Oh, Horrible Bosses?
No.
We talk about Jennifer Aniston a lot.
Stand by. Work.
It's called Work Party.
Work movie. Okay. No, it wasn't Horrible Bosses.
Friends.
Whatever it was, it was like an Asian guy, and he was hooking up with this woman, and then he just kept being like, he just kept doing baby talk. You don't remember that scene? You don't remember this movie?
No.
No. All right. Well,
you're not allowed to reference movies because you've never seen any of them, and all of a sudden you pull one out.
It's funny, the horrible movies I have seen.
That's true.
And the classics I haven't. But yeah, I'm not a big movie guy. We know this.
Yeah. So you won, I guess.
Yeah, I think pretty handily. On your segment, on your mystery segment.
Do you know what's sad is I gave you the segment and I forgot to study. So that's on me. My bad.
And your life hack. Did you even do a life hack? This
Yeah.
is like this pod is just us being like, have we talked about this and have you done that? And we already talked about that 5 minutes ago.
And Jennifer Aniston again. We bring that up on.
Jayanne.
We should. Yeah, I'm gonna start logging what we talk about. My life hack is you can use since COVID, a cough scares everyone.
Okay.
And I've literally seen someone on the subway cough, and then the person next to them moves.
Yeah.
You're walking through a crowded concert, cough, people move.
Like Moses parting the Red Sea.
Exactly. So just do a cough.
A well-timed cough.
Well-timed cough. Life hack. Put that in there.
A nice well-timed cough.
What do you think?
I think COVID, for sure. That made people a little hyper-aware. I also think a calling out of work you can do a little easier.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about being asymptomatic until COVID. I didn't know you could be sick without symptoms.
Which is, just in
Some people were like, I was
carrying the
COVID, but
virus.
I tested, I ended up doing like the antibody test. I had the antibodies, but I was never sick.
Right.
I guess I was asymptomatic. I was like, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, true. What? I don't fucking know.
I don't know if it is. Is it a thing for other diseases? It has to be. Are there illnesses?
Yeah, AIDS probably.
Okay, that might. Yeah, I guess you could be. I don't know if that necessarily would classify as asymptomatic.
We need a scientist on this pod.
Let's get a scientist.
Do you know a scientist?
I know a few doctors. I don't know scientists.
There was a girl who would do research. She's a regular at my coffee shop, and she would call herself a scientist. But
What was her research?
I don't know. She worked at NYU. But I'm like, at what point do you call yourself a scientist?
Yeah.
I guess that's a scientist.
Was she nice?
Great. I love her.
Did you ever ask her some questions about
Science?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe in science very much. Isn't that a crazy thing, the COVID thing, when everyone would be like, oh, I believe in science? Like, that was their way to get people to take the vaccine.
Yeah.
But, like, that's so silly. Is that not the strategy just horrible?
Yeah, it's a weird...
Because who's going to be like, wait a second, I believe in science. Give me the vaccine. Like, it's not tricking anybody.
Yeah, it's getting nobody.
It's got nobody.
What about when everyone clapped for the nurses?
Classic.
Every day at like 6, everyone would go outside and clap.
So cringe.
Yeah. What about when Will Ferrell and them all put out that video, remember? Like,
of them singing?
Yeah.
Imagine?
Yeah.
I was thinking about that the other day.
So bad.
So bad.
How did nobody go, this is a bad idea? You think they're just so out of touch?
I think it's just, I think part of that, I also think it's just like a weird time. So everyone just didn't know what to do with anything. And
then we go on Twitter and Will Ferrell and Aaron Paul are singing, I can only imagine, what is it?
Yeah, imagine all the people.
Yeah. So stupid.
But who came up? Oh, it was the Wonder Woman came up with that.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure she was the start of that.
Did you watch those movies?
No.
I
don't like when women are heroes.
We'll cut that. And we'll be right back. All right, we're at 54. Do you have any parting thoughts?
I don't think I do. I feel like I bombed this whole time. Let me just tell one more sex story.
Do you actually have one?
I was going to think of one on the fly.
Okay.
That's when I'm at my best.
Is that true? You're Michael Scott thinking on the fly. We've talked about this before.
Yeah, that's true. I do that. Do. No, I can't think of anything. You guys got a Wii? You got a Wii in here?
Oh, my brother brought the Wii up because Becca loves Mario Party. Shout out Mario Party.
Mario's a great game. Mario Party. Actually, I don't like that game.
Really?
Yeah, because it's one of those games where I'm like, oh, that's fun to play. And then once I'm playing, I'm like...
It's fun with people. Playing alone is like...
I would never.
Suicidal.
Mario. Did you play Mario on Super Nintendo back in the day?
Yeah.
Great.
I was never a big Mario, like those games. It was just a little too repetitive for me. It's like you're jumping on and then like the new level and...
It's just a different color.
Yeah. It's
just bricks instead of cement.
Yeah, I was never a fan. If you go to play Mario Party and if you play and then you put 3 computers...
And it's you with 3 computers?
With you with 3 computers, they should just put the suicide hotline on the screen.
Yeah.
They go, hey, man, what's going on?
That's so true.
You're clearly depressed. You're playing Mario Party alone? Are you serious?
That's so sad. Surely people do that, though, right?
But we played the other night, and I I'm not a fan of the Wii Mario Party. I'm not a fan of like using the stick.
Where you at the point?
Where they're like point it, and then like the sensor's not working, and then
Yeah, the sensor always like sometimes it didn't work.
So
The Wii, it was cool, but it's definitely like
a little too much.
Yeah, sometimes I want to sit back. Chill.
Yeah, because one of our friends got a Switch, so we went and played Mario Party the other day, and it was a lot of fun. But we played with like it was me, Becca, and then our 2 friends.
Like 2 couples.
No, it was a couple, and then me and Becca. So it was like fun, 4 people.
Yeah,
and it was on the Switch.
You and Becca.
I guess it's 2 couples. Yeah, 2 couples. I thought you were saying 2 additional couples.
No,
I was like, no, that's 6.
I was just thinking that's like kind of it's cute and funny.
It was.
It's like, let's come to my house and 2 couples play Mario Party.
It was good.
It's good. Maybe I'm jealous.
It was a lot of fun. But then we were like, oh, like, we didn't want to buy a Switch. But we were like, oh, that was fun. And then my brother was like, oh, he was at home. And I was like, oh, is the Wii still there? Like, grab the Wii for me.
The rest is history.
Yeah, it wasn't that.
Maybe I'll bring a girl over here and we can play Wii together.
I only have 2 controllers. I'm busy that day.
I'm involved. I'm going to come.
All right.
I'll come.
I'm Kellan Breen.
My name is Cody Lewis. Thank you guys for listening. If you have any thoughts, concerns, questions, also who won things you don't want to hear during sex, because I had real things and you had fucking
Mine were very
random
real.
a nuclear bomb.
That was yours.
Ah, you're right. That was the best one, by the way. Okay, cool. See you guys. Thank you.
All right, bye.